Thank you, Brother Blackula. Blackula is in the house. And, you know, I don't see why he's not speaking either, because it's simple as that. You know, like I said, if we had 1,000 people doing it, we'll still be 1,000,002 short. Because a lot of people are so ignorant. You know, so it's like that. It's interesting because that thing that you showed on the bureau, that little squared box, that's the same thing that the Nightline showed on June the 13th of 2000. Same black box that was sucking up all of the matter. To get further on the bureau stuff, get Zachariah Sitchin's works, the little books, the Earth Chronicles, little paperback books and stuff, the Zachariah Sitchin's work. Because what's his name used a lot of that stuff also too. Malachi York, but the bureau thing is Zachariah Sitchin's works. Also, you go on the internet and get a lot of stuff on that now. The Biru is also called Neb Heru, which is in actuality the Christ consciousness or the Christ dimension or the Christ particle inside of us also. This is real good because this is the first lecture meeting that I had since the incident in New York that I just so happened to get caught into. Supposed to fly out an hour after the building fell down, or was imploded or whatever, and ended up, that was on Tuesday, the 11th of September, and I wasn't able to get out of New York until Friday. Had to literally sneak out. Because they locked down the place. But remember now, this is nothing that people like white boys, like Bill Cooper, George Maxwell, a whole bunch of white boys and conspiracists, as well as Steve Coakley and all of that was saying in the early 90s that they're going to bring you to fear to take your laws away from you. You see what I'm saying? Now, apparently, what's your boy, so quote-unquote invented electricity? No, not Einstein.
Benjamin Franklin?
Benjamin Franklin, supposedly. Well, you know how that is. The Egyptians had electricity, the electricity and all that. The Ankh teaches you all of that.
Exactly.
You know, but anyway, even Benjamin Franklin said to give up your freedom for security, you will end up with neither. You see, and that's the key here. That's the key here, and we'll go. I want to say a little bit on that because, see, they've already studied it. White people in this society and now black people in this society. They have it better than most people around the world. Even you talk about a project. You talk about housing projects here is almost a luxury condo in Afghanistan or in Africa. You know what I'm saying and all? But the key here is what they mean is when you are spoiled by a fatted calf, this luxury. That once that luxury gets you, it binds you to the point whereas you will kill your mama to keep that luxury going. So therefore, these people are the right people that will give up their freedom just to have the security to keep that luxury going. You know what I'm saying? When they used to say that about educated folks, they said they had two kind of people in the, two kind of black people. They had the black person that he wasn't educated, but he was very hungry. He was very hungry because it's like he had that eye of a tiger. He was hungry. He wanted to get a certain amount of things done. But then you had the educated one that had a little bit of vision. He was a little fine-tuned. Then not like he was educated in knowledge, but he was just a manicured person, a manicured fool. And so what would happen here is he would have the vision, but he wouldn't have the guts. Because he's given too much, you see, and he don't want to lose what he's given. You see, case in point, to give you an example. I had a boss named John Stiegel. Graduated high school, multimillionaire. Because when it came down, because in black business got one thing universal, especially in America, universal. Black businesses especially when it comes to fast food or something like that, or something where they got to get out fast, black businesses have a tendency to be very slow. And that's what kills black businesses and stuff. The simple fact is, you got to wait too damn long.
Well,
And they have antiquated, you know what I'm saying? They have them come in and literally synthesize their fast, you see, their fastness or whatever to get that pace going. Well, a guy named John Stiegel, which was one of my boss, he had a high school education, but they said, what is the secret to this man's success? His burgers, you know, he had hamburgers, he had chicken, he had just about everybody else. They were saying, well, what is it? Why is this man, the people just go there and the people just is like transfixed and can't get enough of his food. And the food was regular black food. Well, all black food is good, you know what I'm saying? The grievous food.
mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is that he had mastered the art of fast, speed.
Mm-hmm.
So black people knew that they could go in the Stiegel, and get out. Now, the story goes, the brother opened up down the street from him, that graduated Morehouse. And the brother opened up a sandwich shop. Had a nice thing, you know, because Stiegel was doing my burgers, chicken, and, you know, the basic black food and the basic fast food. You know, his chicken wings, his burgers, his french fries, and all this kind of thing. But what happened was the problem was, the other guy that opened up was doing like subs, sandwiches, and, you know, a little more delicatessen, high-end little stuff, you know, for the so-called new remote Negroes or whatever the type deal is and all. And all, you know, what they call the domestic owned. Other than the savage owned. There was a movie called Fantastic World that deal with that stuff. But anyway, so he moved in and already had a great idea. For lunch, you know, the people want to come get the cold cuts and want to get stuff, you know, deli style or whatever. And, you know, he's in competition, you know, with Subway. But there's only one problem, though. He hired a brother in the back to do his work. And he was too proud to step in the kitchen. You know, he's riding around the AU Center. That's the schools down there with his Mercedes-Benz, his little small, the little short Mercedes, you know what I'm saying? He's riding around with that little thing and all. And he had a packed house. Then he had 2 or 3 people in the back two cooks in the back trying to get his stuff out. But they were slow. And within 2 months, he was out of business. And he was right beside Stiegel's, and Stiegel's was still killing them. And they had about 5 or 6 businesses that come into business and go right out of business. But the thing about it is, this cat here was not, and this guy's a multi-millionaire, but when that line got packed, he would roll up his damn sleeves and get in the back of that kitchen and get on that grill and get on that damn deep fat fryer. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. Now, so his speed was his success. Now, breaking this thing down, what I'm trying to say here is, America eats its young because we are so locked into luxury. Until that luxury eats away at you until when that luxury is threatened. You see what I'm saying? You will do anything to keep that luxury up. And I know it's hard. You know, whereas if we were just in another country and had a whole other mindset, then whatever we have would be sufficient enough. I happen to know that because I have to block myself out and all. Like I said, they had no heat all summer. You know, they cut off my gas. And only time I really need it is right about now. You know, I got about another good 2-3 weeks of the space heaters and shit before it gets too cold up there. And them little space heaters don't do that. But my point here is just this mindset based on this luxury. And so this is the way they are coming at America. America cannot take this fear of this so-called quote-unquote terrorism because their luxury is threatened. And they will rather give up all the laws, say, look, take all the laws, you can even poke me up the ass. As long as you keep me safe. Meanwhile, it is the United States government that is the one that's behind Osama bin Laden. And he's on the payroll, and he's the number one government agent. They the one that doggone made the man. That's the key. You see, that's the key to this whole thing. Osama bin Laden is a government agent. And this whole thing was done by the United States. Remember, one key thing, always remember this. True enemies to the United States government, you never, ever hear about them. To broadcast them is to give them power. This is the art of war. You never, ever hear about true terrorists or true so-called enemies to the United States government. Anytime they broadcast an enemy, it is because they want you to buy into that enemy, because in a country that says it's free when it is not, they always have to have an opposing force. It always has to be threatened by an enemy. Before it was, before it was in the 1700s, no, in the 1700s or the 1800s, it was the American Indian. Remember that out west was the American Indian. You see, in the 1700s it was the British. Always got to be opposing force. In the 20th century, the first part of the 20th century, both World War I and World War II, it was both the Germans, it was the Germans in World War I, then it was the Germans and the Japanese in World War II. Then Korea threatened. It's always got to be an enemy. You see what I'm saying? Then you got to have the Cuban thing. Then you got Vietnam. But meanwhile, Russia is still number one as the opposing force. Communism. Now they knew that communism was going to drop and was going to fall by the 1980s. So around 1973 or 74, the gas lines started. And that's when the Arabs started coming in. See, everything is planned. Remember now when Alexander Haig, who was the person that was running the government, remember when they shot Reagan? And Alexander Haig came and said, I'm in charge. And when they was getting ready to, the man who asked Nixon to resign was Alexander Haig. And they said, Nixon said, he said, why don't you resign? And Nixon said, in the Iran hostage takeover, the Iran-Contra, he named 10 years worth of stuff that they was going to do in the future. He said, you missed all of that, are you crazy? You see? Then what happened when the bomb blew up on the 11th? Alexander Haig showed back up. No. So where the hell this cracker been? This cracker, I ain't seen this cracker since like since 88 of it. Next thing we know, Alexander Haig showed back up. You see? But they always have to have an enemy. Then they had those gas prices. Then the next thing, we started looking at the Arab. Well, the Arab had something over us now because they got the oil refineries. They didn't even know that America was the one that built the oil refineries. The story is that they had these people over there, had all this oil, and they was on camels. This is broke people. And America said, look, I'm going to come in, I'm going to build your oil refineries. Then I want you to charge me at a certain time after I build a refinery, I want you to charge me what you want to charge. Well, that shit is great. But you got to put a certain amount of money got to go in this certain bank. And they capped all the oil wells in Texas and in America. You see what I'm saying? So they put them in power. You get it? So all of a sudden then, this Arab is there with all these oil prices, and every sudden everybody's saying, man, those people got power because they over the oil. See, the stuff started, it goes all over that because they knew that they had to get a new enemy. If Vietnam was over, communism, which never seemed to jump off as far as being the enemy, as far as, communism was so-called the most major enemy of the United States government. We never went to war with them. But yet we fed them. You remember how they fed Russia the whole time. They was giving so much grain and so much feed and all kinds of shit to Russia when they were so-called communists. You see what I'm saying? And my mother said this. My mother said this and all back in the day. She was like, look, them two people ain't gonna never fight. I said, what you talking about? My mom was like, this, we were young. She was like, look. She said, you got all these colored beads, bubble gums in the bubble gum machine. You got 2 white bubble gums ruling everything. There ain't no way in the hell of 2 white bubble gums because it'd be stupid for us to fight each other. And we're ruling all these colored bubble gums, and we outnumber goddamn 11 to 1. So you don't worry about it. You can set your clock to they ain't gonna never fight.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Now, all of a sudden, they got the gas thing going in. The next thing you know, 79 comes. Bam. They take the hostages in Iran. The Ayatollah Khomeini comes now. Look at this now. He comes into power. They kick the Shah out. You know what I'm saying? First of all, the government, the United States government was on the side of the Shah of Iran. So they kicked him out. He was a brutalizer because that's the whole thing. Now, got to have this oppressor. Then they had the Ayatollah Khomeini come and they took the hostages. And they said, we're going towards the Islamic State. But you mean to tell me the next year you're going to have Afghanistan pick up in 1980 and America going to fund them knowing that it's the whole Islamic thing? See, everything is going, there is nothing that is moving outside of America or they would quail that. They make and they build the enemies. So this whole thing is snowballing into a new type of enemy because America has to have enemies. You understand what I'm saying? Now, before I go into that, I'll spit some wine some rum to the Apollo spirits and all, because we're gonna get deep into this tomorrow also too. They let you know some other things that's also going on. So spit some rum to the Apollo spirits right quick, and then. All right, got to be an expert at that. Okay, and let's call these ones out right quick. Zarabanda, Zarabanda, Zarabanda.
I say.
Okay. Hold up. El Cristo Negro. Los Spiritus and Tranquilos.
I say.
Santísimo Muerte. San Simón. El Cristo Rey. Madre de la Luna. Madre de Agua. Santísima Piedra Even. Francisco de Pichireo. Mama Shola. La Spirit. Mama Shola.
I say. I say.
Yeah. Pecambo.
I say.
Locayo.
I say.
Otisha.
I say.
Tiatia.
I say.
Chiola.
I say.
Shumala. Omagumu.
I say.
Newt.
I say.
Paddock. Rawhard Hewitt. Heru.
I say.
Osal.
I say.
Ossex.
I say.
Tiamat.
I say.
Hyphen.
I say.
Titan.
I say.
Newt.
I say.
Noon. Kunsu. Mintu.
I say.
Mintu Sibara'a. Did that same thing. Anpu. Anubis. Meribis. Erebus. Soptis. Sutan. Sutan. Ali. Atum. Medvedev. Shakina. Kali. Nina Master. Reverend. Bina. Ain. Ain Sora Buddha. Ain Sora. Mintu. Mintu Sibara'a. Did that same thing. Arthur Soptis. Sabdu. Sahu. Heru Raha. Ramaku. Arsepi. Apep. And Focus. Lilith. Layla. Lilitu. Ishtar. Anana. Reverend. Aphrodite. Yeminya. Oshun. Olakun. Oya. Mojo Oshun. Urzuli. Eduedo. Yabaluedo. Propagate. Bridget. Arasha. We'll go with that right now. Heru. Denver. Nemti. Segment. Segmaya. Seshet. Melket. Maya. Bet. Metron. Metronet. Malekta. We'll deal with that. Let's see. Rescabul. Atinda. Ashe. Okay.
All right.
Put those out right now. Okay.
All right.
Now, to say that, we're saying this, that all of the so-called people that was dealing with the conspiracies at a particular time and was giving us this particular information in the early 90s, this stuff has actually come full circle. And that means that give you fear, create an incident to take your freedom, to put America on lockdown. Well, why now? That's the key we're going to answer tomorrow based on the esoteric. There's two sides. One side is what happened physically. The other side is there's something spiritual behind what happened physically. I will start by just saying that I was in New York, and when it went down, the spirit said, don't go to the airport. Don't go to the airport because they're going to get you. As soon as you go to the airport and pick up your ticket, because your return ticket, you see what I'm saying? As soon as you show up and all, they knew you just did a lecture. You see, I did a lecture in Harlem on the 8th. And went up to Montauk Point. That's where they got that, had the time chair and all that stuff up in Montauk, Long Island on the 9th. Then chilled, and then went to the World Trade Center and Wall Street on the 10th. And I had my business partner, Sister Deborah, with me, and I said, and I looked, and we had this perfect view of the World Trade Center. I said, take that picture of the World Trade Center. And I'm only because she had a video camera who was taping, doing a little documentary. And she took the picture, and this was literally the day before, around the same time that the building actually started falling. And I said, take the picture of the world, we got it on tape. And then the next day, this thing got bombed. First thing I said was, I said, I don't think I should go to the airport. Now, Sister Deborah had flown out the day before, which was lucky, because she didn't get stuck. But she didn't get stuck. And we was up there introducing this catalog. I messed around and didn't bring the catalog tonight. Couldn't find it. This is a catalog called the Occult, the Hemmitt Summit 2001. And they have several books and videos, metaphysical books and videos. You can order this catalog, and you can get in touch with this by going to Occult. That's the number is 404-344-6862. 404-344-6862. And also you can tap into Occult online also. I think that's www.siriusbooks.com. But also to get in touch with them. This thing has all my complete. It has my complete library of videos, as well as we put together all the other scholars that's also out here. It's got several things. Plus, this is one that is introducing the first black metaphysical bookstore online, as well as that catalog, where you can get all the metaphysical books I talk about. If they in print, you can get them from Occult. The number is 404-344-6862. I want to put that out there because the simple fact is the sister booked up the day before and left out on the 10th. On the 10th. The next morning, I was supposed to fly. I had to do an interview that night, and I was supposed to fly out on the 12th. On the 11th at like 12:30. And what happened? We got this thing flying over. I'm going to go into another. To fly at 12:30. Anyway, what happened was, the brother we was downstairs. He was waiting for the video to stop. He was going to drive into the airport. Was waiting for the video. He was recording the video from the night that I had done the interview. So he was waiting for that and all. And so the video stopped. He handed me the video, and he got a phone call. They said, "Go upstairs. The World Trade Center was bombed." And we went upstairs, and he was like, "You ain't going to damn place." Because the first thing they said was, we have suspended all traffic in and out of the city. So I said, damn, let me go get a phone card. I said, let me go get a phone card and all. I said, I need to make some calls around and all. I said, he was like, you're not going anywhere. You might well go anywhere. We might well go to the grocery store and buy some food, because black people who are walking around like it's 1975 know that the white people are going to have a run on the grocery store. You see what I'm saying? Going to have a run on the grocery store. So what happened was, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get out once they suspended travel. So I walked down to get a phone call, and the Spirit said, don't go and pick up your plane ticket. Don't go to the airport or whatever, even if they open up at the end of the day. Don't go to the airport because they're going to get you. So I said, so the sister, one of the psychic sisters named Kimberly, was living up in New York. She was in Atlanta for 10 years, and she went back to New York and went to nursing school, and she was getting ready to go back. Move back down to Atlanta. And she was going to drive down by herself. And what happened was, I said, this is perfect, because the other sister, Deborah, had already booked up. So she had a car full of stuff, but she didn't have enough room for 2 people, but she had a room for 1. I said, well, hell, I can go and ride back down with them. I can ride back down with Kimberly. So I called Kimberly up and all, and I said, well, we're going to get on the road and go. I said, because I don't think I'm going to be able to deal with this plane ticket. I said, you know, because I got some material up in my bags, and once they see the material, I got some Muslim stuff up in here. And I said, once they see the material and stuff, that's going to be it. I just knew it. I just knew it. I could feel it. So all the doggone travel was suspended in New York. The trains, the bus, everything was shut down. But Long Island Railroad was running, because Long Island Railroad, that's where the rich crackers live. And they had to get them crackers out of them Manhattan. And Kimberly just so happened to live in Amityville, Long Island. And I said, cool. I jumped on the Long Island Railroad, which it was free that night, to make sure these crackers got out of there. And I jumped on Long Island Railroad and rode out to Amityville, but we were stuck on Long Island until Friday. That was Tuesday. We were stuck on Long Island until Friday because they were searching vehicles and they had all the bridges shut down. So Friday night Friday morning, about 3:30, I said, we said, now is the time for us to roll. And to get on the Staten Island Bridge, to get to the New Jersey Turnpike. And just so happened that night they had a monsoon. I said, they're going to be searching. They won't be searching now because it is raining like hell. Ain't nobody going to be searching the cars in no rain. So we snuck out of New York, got to D.C., bypassed D.C., and got on 95 in Virginia. And meanwhile, they still wait for me to pick up the ticket. I get home. They still think I'm in New York until I pick up the phone and I start talking to them because my phone is bugged. And the next morning, she's moving in her apartment. She calls up and says, hey, listen, I need you to come and help me move in my apartment. She said, I'm going to be over about 2 o'clock. I said, cool. So she came over about 2. She came over about 2 and she walked in the house. She said, let me go use the restroom. We're going to come back. So I was standing on the front porch waiting for her. And she came out the door and just then, 25 police cars pulled up. 2 helicopters, and about 3 vans and 3 private cars. And the whole street was packed with police cars. And she looked and she slapped. She said, that's for you. She said, but they can't see you. And they was sitting out in the car, but it was looking at the house, but it was almost like it was an empty field. It's almost like they couldn't. They was looking at the house, but they didn't. And I was on the front porch waving. I said, shit, man, this is late in the game for a nigga to be scared now. Hell, it's time to do some shit. I done talked all this shit for 9 years. Let's get it on. So I'm on the front porch waving, and they couldn't even see us on the front porch. It was like another dimension. It was almost like they were standing in an empty field. And they sat there about 10 minutes, and then they got embarrassed, and they pulled off like they were still looking for whoever they was looking for. You see, like, you know, we still in search. And I said, man, I knew it. I said, I knew it. They were trying to set somebody up. They were trying to set up anybody that they could get. Because the first thing happened when it happened, the brother turned to me, the brother Preston Brown. He said, you know, any black person that has ever said anything about the United States government, you best believe this shit is for us. It's for us more than it is for them damn Arabs, because those Arabs is a doggone invention for the United States government. It spreads to bin Laden and all that foolishness. That's an invention. Now, we're going to go into question and answer, but let me give you some information, and plus we're going to give the spiritual side tomorrow, because there's 2 sides of this thing that's going on. Now, bin Laden, he didn't hate the government enough that in 1980 went and fought Russia for the government. And like I said, bin Laden, if he was in on the first World Trade Center bombing, if you know that was a real enemy, and they had almost 8 years to catch him, you know damn well the damn government would have got him. You understand what I'm saying? Government get all the niggas in the world, but they can't catch one damn sand nigga? Yeah. Are we out of our minds? Yeah. All this videotape on them and everything. Everything, you know, all the videotape and old footage and new footage, they be showing some shit with a nigga be goddamn 20. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They can't catch him. They got Navy SEALs, they got satellites, they got everything. You know what I'm saying? They got everything, you know. You know what I'm saying? They caught Timothy McVeigh the same damn weekend. Supposedly that government invention. But the point I'm trying to make is all this bin Laden, but they was running them out by bin Laden, this and that. I'm saying, wait a minute, hold on. You don't even, wait a minute, you don't know if the building just got hit. How the hell are you going to say it's somebody, you don't know who it was? It could have very well been some cracker. You got a whole militia group in doggone Michigan that's strong. Bush did. You know what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to make here is like they said in this paper, how many, 400 Jews didn't show up? 4,000 Jews didn't show up? Then they say that all your big financial wigs
Right.
didn't show up. Another thing that I tell you that is this. It hit at what? 8:45, 9 something, they say. They hit the discrepancies. It's like 9:02, but 8:45 is what we got in New York. And this is the key. When I was there, a lot of the guys, when one brother rushed up there and he was a little hurt, he said, man, I know at least 24 people that work for the World Trade Center. See, the key here is, they said if the building would have been hit at 10 or 11, it would have been open for business, and they could have got thousands more. But they said that it was mainly the workers that was getting it at that time. They didn't let me know that 60% of the people that died in the World Trade Center was black people.
That's what a white man did.
That's why they ain't showing you no bodies coming up.
White man.
And that's why the hell you think they showing their little bodies, all the bodies they showing is white bodies.
Right.
And another thing too, let's look at this particular scenario. Now, when it hit, the brother that I was staying with, Clemson Brown, his wife is a nurse. Kimberly's sister is a nurse out on Long Island. All of them immediately got on call. His wife comes strolling in the house, Clemson Brown, that night. He said, I got off. And Kimberly's sister was off the whole time, just worked regular. Come home, 9 to 5 or whatever. The key was, they was like, shit, we ain't got no work to do. They ain't finding no fucking bodies. It's the only thing they found is legs, hands, and heads, and torsos. Nobody survived. Well, why the hell they got people in America, all over America, giving blood?
Right.
And O positive is that, which is the ultimate black blood.
They had 800 people give blood the first day here.
That's what I'm trying to say. Why is it now? Wait a minute. They had a few survivors on Tuesday, Wednesday. The last batch of survivors they had was on Thursday, which would have been the 11th, 12th, the 13th. They didn't have no more survivors. But yet people done gave blood out their ass and still giving blood. They got Red Cross and doggone in every supermarket. Red Cross and McDonald's. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say, but the key here is a couple of other keys. Couple of other keys. Number one, Clemson Brown is a videographer. He's been dealing with video since the 1970s. He said when he started in video, it was reel to reel. It was reel to reel. He's the one that most of the stuff you get on Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark and all the Afrocentric stuff, he's the one who covered all that stuff in the doggone late 80s and in the mid 80s and all this stuff. He's like the number one. He has like literally thousands and thousands of videos he can't even count. The first thing happened when it hit, I was staying with him. The first thing happened is he said, we need to go upstairs right now and start recording now. He said, always record when it first happens, because by 2 hours from now, they're going to start editing. They're going to start, the story going to start changing. So that's like John died. I remember when the John F. Kennedy boy died. I got up that morning, turned on the TV. They said it was his wife, the sister, and a co-pilot. An instructor was with him. Then by the time they changed that shit, it was the wife and the sister and him. See how they do that? Now, his brother H. Rap Brown down in Atlanta. They call it Jamil Alameen now. Supposedly shot a cop down there. But the night that he shot the cop was all on the TV in Atlanta. See, before it gets national, the local people get the real deal news. That's why Dick Gregory said, always read 4 or 5 newspapers. He said that, and Francis Cress Weston said that. They said, why? Because sometimes the lie get out before they can have a consensus. Now, I used to know my ex-girlfriend, Ginger, worked at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And they have a meeting every morning to discuss what's going to go in the paper. So this whole thing, I got some news, I'm going to call the paper. She used to work on this shit, they call it the vent, where you vent your frustration. And they just copy down your little shit and they record all your stuff and all. That stuff never makes it to the paper. But they have it there to make you think that your paper is your source of truth. And it's 1 AP wire and the wrong shit. And mostly the consensus of the entire country is nothing gets out on most papers that don't go through that whole consensus of when they have the meetings early in the morning. The paper come out twice in major cities, in the morning and in afternoon. And they get that story straight. And that's why Dick Gregory and Francis Weston said, you got to read 4 or 5 papers because they can't get the news, they can't get the lie out fast enough, and some of them be printed the truth.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So they say, so he's like, we need to go up and start recording now. Now, what I saw, when I was up in New York, we're looking out the window and seeing the smoke and the dust. So what I saw was different than what everybody else saw. When we saw, first of all, we were sitting there. The building starts to go down. And I said, look at that shit is imploding like they blow down these stadiums. And it's one thing we saw on the tape, and he has the original tapes. We saw orange lights going off on each floor. And we were like, look at that, they detonating. They detonate each floor.
There you go. Sorry, everybody. Yeah. Missed like 2 seconds.
Okay. Then, so, like I said, to go back on this, they started detonating. We saw the orange lights going off on each floor. He said, look, they started detonating. Because see, the ones in New York, when they was first filming, they was really right up on the buildings. See, now they got them far away, and you see the same old building hitting, and the same one they show. But the ones we saw, the helicopters were right up on the building. You could literally damn near see the people inside.
Yep.
And we said, look on the floors. And it was orange, like orange fire going off on each floor. We said, damn, they're detonating the doggone bombs. And then this is what happened. The guy on the news, because see, now this is the local news, they don't have the stuff where they're going to change the shit. Or the people saying, don't worry, we're going to change it anyway. These motherfuckers, they're going to accept what we're going to give them. So the local news said, my God, we hear bombs going off. And we hear bombs on the damn first floor.
I heard that one.
Now, this is the thing. And we say, look, it's imploding, just like they blow down these buildings and they blow down the stadiums and all that. It's imploding. Okay, some people say, well, you don't know how those things might hit. It might implode that way and say, oh, you'll say anything because your mind's trying to rationalize that bullshit being real. And this is the next thing that happens. Then the next one, okay, you can say, well, that's just a lucky shot, it just imploded. So somebody can argue, well, we don't know how it's going to fall. It imploded perfect.
Right.
When something imploded, it had the same dust.
Yeah, it showed it. Yeah.
Okay, well, if you say that's one, what about the second building? The odds are that lightning don't strike twice in the same place. Why is it the second building implodes the same fucking way?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The same way. Meanwhile, the people in the street looking at it, they're running, but they're getting the same effect when they invite you out to go see the stadiums get blown up.
Right.
You get all the dust, but you can stand there and watch it. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You can stand there and watch the shit. You see, but we saw the detonations going on, and there was a whole bunch of stuff that's going on. Then the next thing we know, nobody there with no cameras, then all of a sudden these goddamn little amateur experts is getting the damn planes going to build it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, shit, you be on a movement blink the wrong way, you been missed the whole scene. Right. You know? These crackers, man, they just so have to be up there at 9 o'clock in the morning filming some building, and they get the shit up in there. You see what I'm saying? Now, my point is this. You go right down there to Mason's, what's the big department store?
Lab.
What's that?
Lab.
Lazarus?
Myers is real big here.
Myers or whatever. You go down there and steal a goddamn broom. They had your ass locked up before you could hit the front door. But guess you get 3, 4 planes. Get hijacked. Now wait a minute, we talking about hijacking now. We talking some major shit here now. They had OJ ass on the damn highway. He going to visit his wife and wasn't even a doggone chase scene come to find out. And they had the motherfucking cameras right out there chasing his ass. But here it is, you got a whole plane hijacked, and there ain't no army, no nothing, no intelligence, no satellite, no nothing, no shit, but some damn cell phone people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm supposed to believe this. Let me tell you something. Now, don't you let nobody fool you. This shit about them arming pilots. I knew this, man, damn near 10 years ago. That each one of them cockpits got 9mm in them right now. Don't let no motherfucking asshole tell you that bullshit. These are major airlines. They was hijacking planes in the damn late 60s, early 70s. You don't think them motherfuckers ain't got no guns on there? Well, we don't know. They trying to arm some pilots, and we don't know. And the federal, come on, man. You get on that damn plane and act up and say, see one motherfucker shoot you in your ass. They got 9mm. Now I want to rescue. Somebody said, no, you are, they're going on. Why don't we just believe any goddamn thing the TV says? One brother go rush upstairs, we need to find who that was and kill them. I got people in the building. I'm saying, damn, man. Damn you. I mean, the building just fell. The other building ain't even fell yet, motherfucker. You already goddamn blaming somebody. I said, you never take the first thing that comes to the TV. Now, all of a sudden now, here it is, they got guns on that shit. And all this, and the motherfucker gonna come up there with a box cutter. I got a 9mm in the cockpit, and you gonna come up there with a box cutter talking that shit? I know most sisters, most black women be like, wait, motherfucker, you got a box cutter? Before this plane wrecked, me and your ass going toe to toe.
Right. That's a great.
See what I'm saying? And I'm supposed to believe this dumb shit. Plus, I want to know this too. Now, I know because I know I've been on at least 300 and something planes since 1993. That's how much I traveled. Based on this doggone lecture I do. I was on a plane one time every weekend. And then, and all I know for a fact, I can't get through the goddamn airport with some pennies in my fucking pocket. And yet some Arab motherfuckers gonna get through there with knives and box cutters and all that shit, and I'm supposed to believe that. Now all of a sudden now, I done get on 300 flights, and my shit is buzzing and beeping as I got pennies in my pocket. And can't never go through there with no change in my pocket. Now, I can go with all this stuff here, because this here, what happens is it bonds with your energy. And you can go right through with all this stuff here. They say you got jewelry on. They know if you wear the jewelry long enough, it will bond with your energy and it can go right through the senses. But I'm talking about, I got some change and shit, which is stuff that basically is transferable, you know, quite often. I go through the deep with damn nickels and pennies. But yeah, the motherfuckers will come up in there with knives, and nobody asked a goddamn question. I don't give a damn what they did when it was on the plane. How the fuck did they get on the plane? Nobody is. They haven't come up with a comprehensive lie on how these Arabs got on the plane in the first damn place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I ain't heard that.
You haven't heard one thing. Okay, I hear all the shit you said about they got on the plane and they overpowered and they didn't have to damn land the plane. They just knew how to fly it and all this kind of thing. But yet, I want to know how the fuck they got to the airport. Period. This is another thing I want to know too. Oh, now I'm supposed to be a dumbass. Oh, I can't land a plane. But yet I can take a plane and go pinpoint accuracy into a goddamn building. Better yet, I can go to the Pentagon, which is no-fly zone.
Yeah.
Right.
The White House, the Pentagon, and the Congress is no-fly zone, and I can go to the Pentagon and hit pinpoint accuracy and hit a goddamn building, but yet I can't land some shit. These people here, they pull off the major feat, satellite, nothing. These people that hit were so damn professional. But the next day they find goddamn 50 of them. And I'm supposed to believe, oh, now all of a sudden they leaving flight manuals in the back of cars with Arabs. And I'm supposed to believe that these people are so damn professional, they get on the plane. Now the day before, they hit the building, nobody do shit. They so professional, they get on the plane, they do their shit precise.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I know, the next day they're leaving phones.
Yeah, no, stupid.
Golf balls, shoes, liquor bottles, rubbers, sanitary napkins. They need every goddamn thing. Human babies, everything. And I'm supposed to believe this damn dumb shit. But mind control in America. Because basically, what the TV says, the people will believe. That's why you got to go back and you got to look at the movie. Just go back and look at the movie Wag the Dog. While this is going on. I watched Wag the Dog 3 or 4 times. But I watched Wag the Dog the other night and I was shaking my damn head. The man was, because I said, somebody was saying, I said the day that they hit the building, I said, guess what? They're going to be inventing shit every morning, what they going to do. And then Wag the Dog, they were like, piece of cake. Okay, we done fucked up on that over, look here, piece of cake. Don't worry about it. We'll do this. Then somebody got a question, piece of cake. They invent shit, every one of them, what they gonna do. The next thing I know, they got the whole, now they knew, they're supposed to know these people was terrorists. But all of a sudden, they got enough niggas to goddamn put together 2 football teams for terrorists. From the planes to the motherfuckers who we were helping out to flight school. Now, I'm not an idiot now. There's one thing about white people. To races other than white, we all look a fucking like. Now, all of a sudden, they just remembering all kind of goddamn Habib and Rahub and Habib and shit. They just remembering Habib came and paid money in cash, and I'm supposed to believe this shit, but yet you had all this goddamn information, hindsight, after the damn fact, but yet you couldn't see a motherfucker coming in a no-fly zone in Washington, D.C. In Washington, D.C. at the Pentagon. Well, it was a commercial jet. No, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a goddamn minute. I don't give a shit if it was a commercial jet. I don't give a goddamn if Emmanuel Lewis Webster was on that. Or Gary Coleman. We're shooting this bastard down because it's going to hit the White House or the Congress. And what they said, it was going to the White House. You tell me we got a motherfucking plane. 2 buildings done fell. 2 buildings fell in New York City with so-called terrorists. You got 30 minutes before this shit hits. You already got a law that says you got 4 planes missing. I must be a dumbass. And here it is, you got a plane show up in Washington, D.C. in a no-fly zone. Commercial line or whatever. And it gonna hit pinpoint accuracy into the goddamn Pentagon. And nobody knows shit. Meanwhile, it don't hit the Joint Chief of Staff. You see what I'm saying?
Don't hit the executive.
Don't hit them, don't hit none of these people. And all them in bunkers hiding.
7 floors underground.
Hiding? Wait a minute, hold on. Did I hear you motherfuckers say they was hiding in bunkers when the shit hit? Now I'm supposed to believe this damn dumb shit? You see the ignorance? Too many. This shit is like Swiss cheese.
Oh, yeah.
This shit was like damn Swiss cheese and shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this was amazing, man. I mean, goddamn. Ray Charles and Stephen Wonder could see this shit. Fuck that Helen goddamn Keller. Her deaf and blind ass could see this shit here. What's that, brother?
So, Bobby, what do you think because it looks like a sacrifice of a lot of U.S. citizens, this hardship means, actually?
Okay. A lot of shit went down. I'm going to deal with spiritual because you got to tie that Aaliyah thing up in there, too. A lot of stuff going down all at the same time and all. But we're going to deal with the physical aspects tonight based on conspiracy. Because this is what Bill Cooper and all them white people were saying that it was waiting on. Now, I knew it based on the shit that went down in Oklahoma with that building. Before that, you can take any, I can hand you a plane ticket. As long as you got, I put that plane ticket in your hand, you can take that plane ticket and go get on a flight and say your name was mine and fly wherever you want to go. You know what I'm saying? Fly where the hell you want to go. And after that, you had to start dealing with the ID and all that shit. You see what I'm saying? My point is, they said there's about 100 laws passed off of the building of the Oklahoma bombing alone. You understand what I'm saying? Oklahoma bombing alone, about 100 laws passed. You see what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden, we have this thing here now. My point is this the same damn building that they hit in 1993? Yeah. No, wait a minute. Now, I'm just looking at this goddamn shit now. This is the same building they hit in 1993, and y'all motherfuckers walking around like this damn Disney World? You know what I'm saying? Was it Bin Laden behind the shit in 93? Well, you didn't kick Bin Laden in his ass in 93? Think of if you was big bad America.
Didn't mention his name.
You see what I'm saying? And the key is what I'm trying to say here is Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, Bin Laden, all that shit worked for the United States government.
All of it.
All of it. Now let me give you some other story because there's some other stuff that people not know. See, first of all, now there's a divine judgment on America. Elijah Muhammad talked about this. You can't refute what he said. With the fall of America, he said America would burn. You see what I'm saying? In theology of time and all that type of stuff. So we got that. There's the Islamic connection. Now, but let's deal with this particular aspect. Now, they said in 1980, when they had this whole Afghanistan and the Russian troops came up in there, they said that the government armed and financed Muslims from around the whole Middle East to come and fight the Russians. And this was bin Laden and all that type of stuff came out. They said that the Russians lost 15 to 25,000 in 10 years. And the Arabs, although they whipped the Russians' ass and the Russians had to retreat, the Arabs lost 1 million people in the 10-year war of Afghanistan. Now look at this now. They lost 1 million people. They lost 1 million people from defending America. Now get this right now. These people that they were defending, these Arabs came and they upheld the policies of the West to fight against communism and uphold democracy. And they had a 10-year war that they fought and lost 1 million people for America, because America funded them.
I remember that.
Okay?
Yeah. Dan Rather was over there.
And all. Now, this is the key. In America, what they do, they turn around. They turn around and leave Afghanistan. Don't rebuild nothing. Cut these people off. They say when after 10 years, the land was barren. Almost looked like a place from hell. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just barren. They completely destroyed Afghanistan. And America moved out of that war and didn't help them people rebuild nothing. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, America become best friends with the goddamn Russians that these people fought for 10 years. And don't let nobody fool you. That after the Russians retreated in 1989, a year later in 1990, the damn Berlin Wall came down, and that was the end of the Soviet Union. Mm-hmm. And yet, America has invested billions of dollars in the Soviet Union in the last 10 years, and has given nothing to Afghanistan, who fought 10 years, who fought for 10 years, and lost 1 million people. Now, let me get this right now. Look at this shit. Because, see, there's some spiritual shit going on. Okay, America too pussified to fight for themselves because they got their ass whipped in Vietnam. They got their ass whipped in Korea. They didn't win no World War II. Bullshit. You gotta read history. The goddamn Russians won World War II. The Russians, two things happened. Napoleon got his first defeat when he tried to go into goddamn Russia and that cold whipped their ass. The next one was doggone Hitler. They lost hundreds of thousands of soldiers in the winter wind in air in Russia. It was the Allies that helped, but it was the damn Russians who moved in and whipped that ass. So America ain't won a goddamn war this century, the past century. Because them pussified walls, when you say you didn't go head up, you was an ally helping Europe. You was an ally in both wars helping Europe. But when you went up against the Koreans, they lost. That's history. When they went to Vietnam, them motherfuckers lost. So they was like, hey, wait a minute. But Elijah Muhammad told him, he said, your time is up in 1914. Mm-hmm. Right? And America hadn't won a damn war since 1914. So America's like, hey, wait a minute. Every major war we get in, we lose.
Right.
So what they say do, they say, well, look, after Vietnam, they say, no, we're going to only fight countries as big as damn New Jersey. That's it. Grenada. Panama. You see Somalia. Ain't nothing in Somalia but some goddamn toads and bugs and snakes. They got the troops up in there. The motherfuckers, so they say, wait a minute, hold on. We can't fight no Russia. They said, no, we're going to get the Arabs to fight Russia. And the Arabs lost 1 million damn people. The Afghanistan lost 1 million people fighting for Russia, fighting Russia for America, when America's sitting over here drinking goddamn 7-Ups.
Right.
And leg warmers and listening to goddamn Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson and shit, sporting Jerry Curls and all kind of shit.
Yes, sir.
Folk rocket. You know what I'm saying and shit? And Rubik's Cube and shit back in them days. America, Chile, they got the Arabs fighting the war for them, and they fight a war for 10 years and lose 1 million people, and what's the name? Lose 15 to 25,000. Russia. And they fight for 10 years fighting for democracy. Then what did America do? America pulled out of Afghanistan and don't rebuild. They rebuilt Germany in 30 goddamn years. They rebuilt Japan in 30 motherfucking years. They're rebuilding Chechnya and Bosnia and all that shit. They're rebuilding them motherfuckers right now. Any place they fight them crackers, they rebuild. See what I'm saying? They rebuild. But they over here, they don't rebuild nothing with the Arabs. And then the Arabs look at this. We fought for 10 years to uphold democracy. We lose 1 million people. We lose 1 million damn people. And we turn around, they don't rebuild. We over here living in mud. And now they're giving billions to the goddamn Russians who we fought. Because it's always, the white man always stick together. Then you should no wonder why they hate America. Now, the deal here is, if America would have let Russia take them over, Russia was going to be finished in 10 years anyway. So they had 10 years of just doing what the Russians say, and then guess what? After 10 years, after the Soviet Union would fall, hell, they might have had 10 years of occupation, but they would have damn saved 1 million lives. So, then you wonder why these people hate them. When they say in Israel, all your bullets that fall and kill these Arabs, and all your doggone missiles and all your shells and everything got USA on the side. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, what's that?
But you know, even so, Bobby, that still haven't come up as the motive.
Yeah, but see, not only that, we need to explain something else too. See, first of all, the Arabs don't really have nothing to do with this. Bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, and before that was Gaddafi. All these damn people work for the United States government. Now here it is, people up there crying, oh, the World Trade Centers and all that, all people and all, we gotta get flags and all that shit, it's a tragedy. But people don't understand something. They got Saddam Hussein that they left in office, and for 10 years they done dropped bombs on these damn people, killing innocent babies, children, and all of that type of thing.
You notice every time somebody becomes the enemy of the United States, it's been some motherfucker that they put in power.
That's the case. That's what we say. Everything. Now all of a sudden, just so happen we trained them. Damn, we trained them out. Bin Laden got his training down at Fort Benning, Georgia. All of them and stuff. You know, when they went in the mines that they dug up in damn the Kuwait in Desert Storm, all the mines was made in the United States.
Yeah.
But this is the mystery behind it. So whenever the man comes up and he says, we are going to war, and we will punish the perpetrators of this heinous crime at the World Trade Center. In so many words, when Bush said that, he's talking about we're going to get punished because we're the goddamn perpetrators.
Sure, right, my life.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. And they say that in the last days, the hand that you are judged by, you're going to cash your own judgment.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You're going to judge yourself by your own hand. Because America's under judgment. You see, now, meanwhile, the spiritual side we're going to get deep into, there's a black hole going on. Which means you can't lie in this shit. Because they got a black hole out here.
Hey, Bob.
So whenever you say, whenever you say that you're going to judge somebody, you see what I'm saying? And damn, although you got Bin Laden saying that shit, but you don't understand one thing. Whenever those people over there know that America ain't shit, so whenever when Bin Laden says jihad, and he might be the government agent, them Arabs say jihad also.
Right.
And we ain't heard Bin Laden say nothing.
He said a goddamn thing. The last thing I heard he said is I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Unless you can read lips in Arabic.
Right.
We ain't heard Bin Laden say nothing.
Unless you can read some goddamn footage from damn 20 years ago. That shit is old. One minute they got the motherfucker with a black beard.
Right.
Next minute motherfucker got a gray beard. Wait a minute. Y'all motherfuckers better get some goddamn footage going on here. You know what I'm saying? They were showing all kind of old shit from archives and shit, man. Shit all scratched all up. Shit all brown and stuff. You see what I'm saying? Everybody saying, half the damn footage is damn 10 years old. 7 years old, 9 years old.
When he was working for them.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Just so happen they just convenient somebody dropped some footage off.
Yeah.
Roll that beautiful green bean footage. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Somebody done got some footage off that they just so happen to get access to.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this foolishness is going down. You see, so the key here is, we know that this, first of all, like I said, number one rule of the government, any true enemy to the United States, you never know who it is. Baby. You never know who it is. And the reason why you never know who it is, the reason why you never really know who it is because that person has enough information or would want to have enough information to damage the United States by exposing the lies and the conspiracies. So they can't afford for somebody to come and ever teach us nothing. Like they say on the movie Harrison Birds Around, if you haven't seen it yet, you should never learn that from TV. So the key here is they never give you the true enemies of the United States. Now, going back to this thing, what we're talking about here is we're talking about them taking the laws from you. Now, I go to the doggone airport. I said, here it is again. Now, they came and they ran up on me. They ran up on me on Saturday. That Saturday, right after the bombing. So I get to the airport. So the last time I went to an airport was when I flew into New York. So